Holy shit, you guys need to prepare for the marmalade meltdown of the millennium. Because that crack you just heard wasn't the sound of Donald Trump getting his ass handed to him on midterm eve. That's my name for the little taste of the future we just enjoyed. It was the sound of the first fantastic fracture in Donald Trump's economic legacy, courtesy of a jackhammer operated by the Supreme Court justices he put on the bench. And I am tantalizingly titillated as I await the tasty toddler tantrum. That is definitely on its way. Because opening arguments began in the case that's going to determine if 3/4 of Donald Trump's tariffs will not only be yeeted off the earth and directly into the sun, but also if the money collected through those tariffs over the past 8 months will have to be refunded to the Americans and the American business owners that paid them. Now, I knew this case could get spicy, but I was not expecting day one fireworks. Not just from the 3 liberal justices, but from Neil Gorsuch, Amy Coney Barrett, and John Roberts. Neil Gorsuch warned that Donald Trump's tariffs could be, and I quote, a one-way ratchet toward the gradual but continual accretion of power in the executive branch and away from the people's elected representatives. Coney Barrett asked Trump's lawyer, "Is it your contention that every country needed to be tariffed because of threats to the defense and industrial base? I mean, Spain? France? I mean, I could see it with some of these countries, but explain to me why. As many countries needed to be subject to the reciprocal tariff policy as are." And even John Roberts recognized that while tariffs could be used in dealings with foreign powers, in this case, the vehicle is imposition of taxes on Americans. And he concluded that has always been a core power of Congress. In other words, he's recognizing a critical distinction. Yes, the president has the authority to regulate trade in an emergency with a specific country, but because tariffs are paid by American people and not foreign countries, a line has been crossed. Now, I know the Supreme Court has been frustrating, but there is one thing I can safely say about these justices and the many terrible decisions they've passed down. And that is that in every single case, they have telegraphed their decision in the tone of the questions during opening arguments. In this case, 6 justices asked decidedly brutal questions of the government. In fact, it was so obvious, Trump's own lawyer recognized it. So he tried to pivot the argument by saying the tariffs are not about collecting money. They are about the regulatory effect. And he made the hilarious claim that it would actually be ideal if nobody paid them, because that would mean they were working. Of course, Trump is so stupid he can't play the strategy game for very long, because as we all know, he's been bragging all year about the billions and billions he's collected from tariffs. He even attended an event in Florida after the Supreme Court closed arguments on the first day, and once again bragged about how much money they collected. Now, the saddest and funniest thing is that Trump was clearly told by his lawyer to not make it about the money, because right before the hearing was about to begin, Trump screamed on the internet, as he always does, that his sole authority to tariff was literally life or death for this country. And without it, this country is virtually defenseless against countries who for years have taken advantage of us. Virtually defenseless, besides, of course, passing good trade deals. Trade deals which, of course, have unfortunately eluded our deal maker in chief. The L's are piling up, you guys. With the ranged lunatics like Fuentes creeping up on the right and the American people creeping up on behalf of the left, MAGA is in a vice. And with just a little more pressure, the bubble pops. And after we clean up a bit, we will be the ones to build what's next.